Dear friends, I'm so sorry for not being with you today, but I'm sure that you will understand how difficult it was for me to join all of you in Athens in this period. I'm going to conclude my mandate as the President of the ICAO Council. Thank you, Kostas and Mehmet, for inviting me to address you at this International Aviation Forum on the theme Aviation for All, the next steps. Your continuous and enthusiastic work in promoting initiatives in support of air transport development is commendable. I wish to take the opportunity to say some words on current ICAO priorities in the context of the state of global aviation, and more specifically on the outcomes of the 42nd session of the ICAO Assembly concluded in October in Montreal. Air transport returns to its long-term growth trend. Traffic levels have returned to those of 2019 and fewer than 3 years after the restrictions began to ease. That recovery shows the resilience of our sector, but shows also the resilience of the demand of air connectivity. In 2024, 4.6 billion passengers were carried by air transport. By 2050, we forecast a potential 12.4 billion passengers each year. Air cargo will grow as well, from 265 billion freight tons kilometers today to 638 billion by mid-century. We know perfectly well that these statistics reflect more business reaching global markets and more economic opportunities reaching remote communities, more families and friends being reunited across continents, and more opportunities for future generations to venture out into the world. They reflect the fact that connections are lifelines and that aviation is a crucial enabler of socio-economic development. It is a matter of fact that the system currently built to serve 4.6 billion passengers will not accommodate 3 times that number, unless we assure its transformation. This includes strengthening the oversight, modernizing physical and regulatory infrastructures, and harmonizing implementation of ICAO standards. Against this backdrop, we must also accelerate the momentum towards the aspirational long-term goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050, an historic agreement reached at the ICAO Assembly in 2022. Achieving this goal will require dramatic progress across fuels, technologies, and operations. Meanwhile, long-standing gaps in infrastructure, finance, and training remain across our system. These are most acutely felt in developing states, landlocked countries, and small island states. If these gaps are not addressed, growth will end up deepening differences instead of reducing them. In order to address these challenges, ICAO has adopted a long-term strategic plan for the period 2026-2050, which outlines the framework for action. The plan defines 3 essential aspirations: eliminating fatalities, achieving net zero carbon emissions, and ensuring aviation serves everyone, everywhere. It includes 6 goals to structure and drive progress toward that vision. The first goal is to ensure that every flight is both safe and secure. That means that continuous improvement on safety and security will remain the foundation of everything we do. The second goal focuses on environmental responsibility, setting a course for aviation to become environmentally sustainable and to contribute meaningfully to the fight against climate change. Third, the plan affirms that no country should be left behind, placing equity and inclusion at the heart of our global efforts. I want to underscore that No Country Left Behind is no longer simply an ICAO initiative, but is now a goal of our strategic plan. Fourth, it is equally important for air transport to contribute to prosperity and well-being, enabling a growth and opportunity for people in all regions of the world. And so, the fifth goal calls for aviation to offer seamless, reliable, and accessible mobility so that people and goods can move efficiently regardless of where they are. Finally, the sixth goal is to ensure that the international air law frameworks remains responsive and effective, evolving in step with the technological advances and the changing needs of our sector. This is the route that has been established by ICAO towards 2050. It is not a route that will guide just ICAO. It is the route that will have to guide the whole aviation community in support to air transport development worldwide. Regarding the outcome of the 42nd ICAO Assembly, I wish to underline the unprecedented level of participation. 192 states out of 193, more than 3,300 delegates, approximately 65 ministers. This is absolutely a positive sign. Developing countries' political agendas are focusing more now on the role of aviation in the context of their socio-economic development. Their participation has been particularly active in supporting decisions by consensus. Of course, I can't mention on this occasion the many resolutions that have been adopted. However, I believe that it is appropriate to mention that in the area of safety and air navigation, the Assembly endorsed the next edition of the Global Aviation Safety Plan and the Global Air Navigation Plan to improve safety in air navigation. A decisive step forward was taken in accelerating aviation's transition to cleaner energy towards net zero carbon emissions by 2050, and the endorsement of the ICAO Global Framework for Sustainable Aviation Fuels, Lower Carbon Aviation Fuels, and other cleaner energy sources. The collective target of 5% CO2 reduction by 2030 was endorsed by the Assembly. We have also appreciated the stronger engagement of the aviation industry with several working papers and the suggestions of amendments to the Assembly resolutions. Concluding, I'm sure that you are aware that my term as President of the ICAO Council will end on 31st December 2025. It has been an incredible journey, and I'm also pleased to underline that this is probably my last public video recorded speech, and it is a pleasure to deliver it among friends. I hope that next will be in person, although not speaking as a President of the Council of ICAO. I thank you for attention and I wish you fruitful discussions.